Hi, this is Lisa Marie Nicole, and this is Rockin' for God. Let's rock. Let's rock. Let's rock. Let's rock. Let's rock. Welcome back to another episode of the award-winning Rockin' for God podcast. I am your host, Christian recording artist Lisa Marie Nicole. Today is Sunday, May 3rd. Today's gospel is from John 14, 1 through 12. I can explain this in many ways, but the short version is, Jesus said to his disciples, "Where I am going, you know the way." Thomas said to him, "Master, we do not know where you are going." Jesus said to them, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you know me, then you will know my Father." Jesus is the sole Savior of the world. He is the mediator chosen by the Father to bring the human family to glory. Jesus is the visible image of the invisible God, his human flesh being an icon of the divine spirit. Through faith, we see how Christ's entire life shows us the heart of the Father and his love for the world. Now, I have many songs that talk about this, and Jesus being the way, the truth, and the life. But for this show, I have chosen my song, "Jesus, I Trust in You," to play at the end of the show. So please stick around to hear it and see the O'Hare Dogs of the Week that are still available. And they have a message about next week's show also. So let's get this show started. I'll be right back.
I know you're there, God. Sometimes I feel alone, even when I'm not. All the troubles in the world, I forget all I've got. I know.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Rockin' for God with Lisa Marie Nicole. If you are watching this show for the first time, I welcome you. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or any other site, thank you very much for joining us. And I really hope that you become a returning guest. Every Sunday night is 6 p.m. And I have some great guests that are on, including one tonight. And real quick, I just want to thank you guys, everyone that voted for me for the ISSA, the International Singer-Songwriter Association. I just found out that I am a finalist for a Female Vocalist of the Year, Album of the Year, Ascending Journey. I have right here. This is nominated for Album of the Year. And of course, this podcast, which I am absolutely blessed beyond, I can't even tell you how many awards and nominations, and I've been a finalist for this show. This is such a blessing to be able to bring this to you every day. I am just so blessed to be able to do this. I don't know what else to say. I just thank God for this and for the guests. If it wasn't for the guests, I would be talking to myself and to you. So I want to thank everybody again for voting for me all the time. And I will let you guys know August 22nd if I won any of these awards. But till then, you could still go on any streaming site or my website and get my Ascending Journey album, which is also another award-winning album. So I'm going to play my song today, Pray About Everything. My guest has chosen that song to play during the break. So without further ado, I'm going to bring him on right now. You're going to love this. Hi, John. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad.
Good. You want to introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're from?
I am John Kraemer, and I am a resident of Saginaw, Michigan.
Saginaw, Michigan. Where exactly is that?
That is about 2 hours north of Detroit.
North of Detroit. So are you up by the Lake Michigan?
I'm up by the Saginaw Bay, Lake Huron side.
Oh, Lake Huron. Oh, cool. This is supposed to be beautiful, right?
It is very beautiful.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the Great Lakes. I think I know I haven't seen Lake Michigan or Lake Huron. I don't think I have, but I know they're really beautiful lakes. But it's really good. Thank you so much for coming on, and it's really nice to talk to you. And So I know I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about your ministry. And so you go by John, right?
Yes.
And what does M stand for? I have to ask.
It's
Michael?
my middle initial, Michael. Yeah.
Oh, it is Michael. Okay. It's John
I started
Michael.
using JM as a writer's name, and I still do that for some of my blog articles. But most people
Yeah.
know me as John these days. So
That's me. I'm Lisa Marie Nicole is my confirmation name, actually, if people don't know that. So that's what Nicole is my confirmation name. So that's what I use. But that's great. And I'm really glad to have you on. And we have some people joining us now. If anybody has any questions during the show, feel free to ask them in the comment section and I will relay them to John. And if we have time permits, we will answer as many questions as we can. So I am going to get down to some questions I would like to ask you. I'm very interested about this project you have. So are you a cradle Catholic or are you a convert? Are you born Catholic? I mean, born Catholic.
I was born into the faith, and I attend Mass as often as I'm able to. I've been very blessed with that, to be able to take part in the Mass. And really kind of an important part of my life, really, when you think about it.
And I know we were talking before the Mass got warm in here. I know we were talking before we started that you said you're actually in the choir, and I didn't know that.
Yes, I've been part of the choir at Christ the Good Shepherd, which is my home parish here in Saginaw, for about 11 years, give or take.
And what are you saying? Your bass?
I am a bass player who sings tenor.
That's cool. I love bass. I love listening to. Actually, I love the tenor. Tenor's beautiful. We had a tenor in our choir too, and both churches I was at we had him. But it's beautiful when I love hearing the tenors in the choir. It's just great. It just adds to it. It adds something different to it. You sing bass too?
Well, my voice was originally supposed to be a bass, but unfortunately I'm the only other guy in the choir, so I have to follow along with the tenor in order to be able to learn what I'm trying to sing.
Yeah, I understand.
That's kind of an extension of the learning disabilities that I have, so I have to navigate life in very creative ways.
Well, you do a good job at it, and you're blessed with everything you do, so that's definitely a blessing. So let's talk about your project. When did you get the idea to start the Lego Church project? And you could get much into depth if you want, to explain why you started and everything.
Well, the short story is that this kind of started in childhood. I started building these rudimentary buildings that eventually turned into these churches. What took it from a childhood idea into the disability ministry that it is now is I started doing public displays. I started taking some of these out on the road, including the annual tradition Advent display that I do at my home parish, since I've been doing since 2003, which would have been season 4 of my work.
Mm-hmm.
And the short is that I build the project every year, I tear it down, and I start the process all over again. So 27 years, 27 different churches I have built.
So that's how many different parishes you have been to?
No, that's just the number of churches I've built. The number of parishes kind of vary from season to season.
Oh, okay.
It just kind of depends on.
Now, I want to ask you, behind you, how do you get the church to light up like that? That's lights, right?
Yeah, just your standard Christmas tree lights. In this case, kind of a bright white 200 count strand that runs on both the lower half in a U shape and then on the upper half, which covers the entire balcony.
Is there any way we could show, like, zoom the camera out to see how big that really is? Because that's really big.
Let's see here.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, my apologies. The
That's right.
tripod decided to act up a little bit. So let's see if I can take one of the tiles off here.
What do you got? People in there too?
Oh, over 300 figures inside.
That's awesome.
And some with various types of disabilities too.
Wow, that is cool. That is really awesome. That's you. So you started when did you start, like, you said you've been doing this since you were a kid. When did you start deciding that you wanted to do churches? It was like a calling.
Yeah, it was just, well, what it boiled down to is my friends were building spaceships. I was that good at that. And at the time I started doing this, we were living across the street from Christ the Good Shepherd, my home parish.
Yeah.
So we were going to mass all the time, taking part in things. My dad was lector. I was an altar server. So that just kind of became part of the foundation of what I was doing. So I'd build these rudimentary buildings. They start turning into these churches. And as I added more parts to my collection, they kept getting bigger. And to the point where you see the big one behind me here.
So what's the biggest one you ever built?
This one is the current scale that I have, which measured about 4 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet to the tip of the bell tower. And yeah, I got 2 bells in there. And it's kind of a happy medium because it allows me to still transport this to different locations.
Mhm.
And at the same time, it's manageable to a degree, other than being 80 pounds of Legos.
Yeah. So what exactly do you do when you bring it to the church? Do you speak? What do you do like when you bring it there?
Usually, I will give a short presentation of some kind. If it's parish that I've been to before, which several on my list this year are in that case, I will usually highlight some aspect of the project build. I think last year we were talking about vocations, so I highlighted the 3 priests standing. Sometimes I highlight the people. If it is a new parish that I've never been to before, I will usually give like a brief introduction, who I am, what's my mission, why am I at your parish, why do I have this giant creation here?
Yeah.
And it ties to the mission of the Lego Church Project, which is to show no matter what challenge or disability you face, God can still use your talents. And I have malformed cerebral palsy, so this is a mission that I live. And part of the reason why I have so many figures in there that do have visible disabilities, because I want to show that.
Yeah. And there's some invisible disabilities also,
Yeah.
which I am aware of. So that's great. That's really great. I appreciate you doing this also because it really brings light to, people that do have all types of disabilities, which are seen and unseen, that we were able to still do things. And by the grace of God, we'll be able to do these things. And that's incredible. That's really a blessing of what you do. That's how long does it take you to do something that size?
Under normal conditions, I can usually get it cranked out in about 6 weeks most times. I'm usually starting like end of January. Some years, depending on how smoothly the build goes, I can get it done a lot sooner. I think previous year was 4 weeks. This one is my fastest one of this scale, 3 weeks, which kind of surprised even me. I wasn't expecting to get this done so quickly and have it turn out so well.
Okay, so where do you get the ideas to make these churches?
Well, they're all my own design, but it is inspired by places that it has been inspired by places that I've been to or places that I've seen. I draw a lot of inspiration from many churches across the world, and it kind of becomes fuel for the engines of creation as I'm trying to think as to what do I want to include? What story does the Lord want me to tell in the build? Do I need to focus on the tabernacle? Do I need to focus on the priests? Do I need to focus on some other aspect of it? In case in point for this year, I've got the photo of Bishop Fulton Sheen in the lobby. So when people look in, they'll see that. Other years, I've done other candidates for sainthood, including Blessed Solanus Casey.
Wow. So John wants to know, what are some of the most famous churches you have replicated?
I haven't replicated any, but different places have inspired me. I mean, I've gotten different ideas from my own parish, others that I've run into. I think one year I tried to copy something off of St. Robert Bellemeyer in Flushing. Really, just kind of my own designs. I like to use my own design rather than trying to replicate something because replicating something in Lego is a challenge. If I had a more permanent location and bigger space, unlimited budget, you'd be surprised what I could probably do.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, have you ever tried to build a castle?
No, not well, at least not in Lego. I've done it in
Church
Minecraft a
castle.
couple times. Yeah.
I'm sure they have church castles like in Ireland and England and stuff,
Oh
right? Like
man, imagine that'd be. There's also the ice chapel that they do every year down in near Detroit, I think.
a what? What'd you
Ice
say?
chapel.
Ice
And,
chapel? Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
I saw something online once that they have one that's like an underground ice chapel in like I think it's Iceland or Finland or something. I saw something
Yeah, I
about
saw
that.
something like that too.
Right? They had it advertised. It's like an underground ice chapel. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. I mean, I'm in Florida and when it's like 50 here, I'm freezing. So I don't know if I could deal with that. So but that's great. So how does it feel to have a disability and still be blessed with this talent?
God gives us some amazing talents. Mine just happen to be very unique. But it has allowed me to bring up topics of conversation. I can talk
Mhm.
about my own challenges with my balance because of the cerebral palsy, my learning difficulties as it relates to me trying to learn pieces of music for the choir. I mean, yet God has given me this profound gift to be able to build this to begin with because I'm not an architect. I didn't go to
Yeah.
school for this. And yet I'm building something that can usually withstand transportation from one site to the next, most times. And it just kind of adds, it's kind of amazing the things that I'm able to do when I never thought I could do it. I mean, you have to figure this project is about 25,000 pieces, as well as not counting the minifigures that are inside there. And I got to come up with this all at the top of my head. There's no written instruction manual for this. This is just all brain power and trying to come up with something new every year. As I said, 27 years, 27 different churches. So I try and make things similar, but at the same time different. As far as season 27 goes, I think this one turned out beautifully. I really love the story that this one tells. And I think people, once they get a chance to see it in person, are going to be amazed by what they see inside.
Yeah. Do you ever name any of these churches?
Not really. Not really. I find that if I try and name them, then it becomes even much harder to tear them down.
Yeah, yeah, be like personal and yeah. So what do you do? Like, do you keep like this one? Do you like how do you make the appointments for the parishes? Like, do they contact you? You contact them? Do you keep this one and go to several different parishes, or is just like one for one
I will.
parish?
This will remain up until after the final display, which is usually at Christ the Good Shepherd around Christmas and Advent. When it
Okay.
comes back at the end of the Christmas season, I tear it down and then start the process over again. And usually by that point, I'm usually reaching out to parishes or parishes have heard about me and are interested in hosting my work. In case in point, then some of these other parishes are places that I've been to before.
Mhm.
One of the parishes in particular is I'm going back up to All Saints Parish in Bay City, both at their St. Boniface campus and St. James campus, with Father Rose, wonderful priest, amazing community over there. I love coming out for a visit. And I'm also going to be going over to Assumption Parish in Midland, Michigan, in November, my 5th year of taking part in that display. Then, of course, my annual display, Christ the Good Shepherd. And I'm always looking for other parishes that might be interested in hosting me. They're willing to provide the transportation for me and the project. And which parishes I go to kind of vary from season to season. It really kind of depends on where the Lord is willing to send me. Where do I need to be at that particular moment?
Exactly.
I've visited parishes far up Gladwin and Harrison, Standish. It's been years, but I used to go down to Flushing every so often. And I'm always open to where the Lord is going to send me, even if I can't necessarily see how the logistics are going to work out at that particular moment.
Where's the furthest you've ever traveled with that?
Oh, a long time ago, I've been to Troy, Michigan, down by Detroit, but that was like season 10, maybe. I think
How
last
far
time.
is that from you? That's 2
About,
hours?
about, yeah, almost 2 hours.
So how do you transport that? I'm just curious.
The project sits on a plywood base. So you lift it up in the plywood base, load it in your vehicle, usually with like a coffee cart or other kind of
Oh,
cart to make things a
yeah.
little bit easier to save your back. Because I know I certainly can't lift 80 pounds of Legos for an extended amount of time,
Yeah.
but it makes it a lot easier to transport it. And then once I get set up at the parish, plug it in and start talking to people. I'll hand out business cards, talk about different elements of the project as to what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And it's just generally a lot of fun because you've got the kids. They'll swarm the project because it's big, it's
Yeah.
bold, it's beautiful. But then you got the adults. They will see the story inside,
Mm-hmm.
and they will see themselves reflected in that area that they see. I've had almost every display. Someone will come up to me and say, "That's where I'm sitting,"
Eh, wow,
and
that's
it always means a lot to me when people do that.
yeah. And you never know who you're inspiring in the process, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
might have other children that may have some type of disability, learning disability or a physical disability, and they could say, I could do that too. They might want to do it.
one of my displays, I believe at St. Louis, Michigan, which is rural part of the county. I had a grandmother bring her 5-year-old grandson over to see the project, and she told me that he has got cerebral palsy and that I had given them hope.
Wow.
And that is I have anything to take away from this. I'm always trying to give people encouragement and
Hmm.
hope through what I'm doing.
That must have made you feel really good though.
Oh, oh yeah, one of the high points of that particular display that I did.
Yeah, that's great. Especially when you know that this is like a calling, a blessing for you that God put on you. And I know a lot of times I feel that God blesses us with certain things to help us get through times in our life when we need to get through, especially when we suffer from different things, ailments. But you could do things for yourself and then start helping other people and not even realize who you're helping in the process. I mean,
Yeah,
I know with me, with my writing, I started writing for myself, to help get me through the pain and suffering that I was going through. But then when I realized that God was giving me this blessing to share with other people, not to keep for myself, and that's what you're doing. And that's a blessing to help other people in the world, that really need it. And that's really great.
yeah. You talk about the writing. I do a little bit of blog writing myself, and that just basically started as me sharing my thoughts on Facebook, and people saying, "Wow, John, you're full of wisdom." Okay, I'll start making this a little more widely available to a bigger audience, and it's also become a component of the disability ministry that I do. So you've got the project build, and you've also got the writing that's kind of connected to it because I talk about different topics, especially some related to disability, some related to the challenges that I face, along
Hmm.
with my personal focus on deep prayer. Prayer is the foundation of which the project is built, and it is also the foundation of which our faith is built.
Hmm.
And the bricks reflect that because every aspect of this project is a prayer. The church full of people, that has a prayer that for the parishes that are struggling with attendance. The priest standing at the altar, a prayer for vocations. People with different types of disabilities, both visible and invisible, for the challenges that we face and the moments where we feel that it is difficult to navigate life. I've certainly had my own share of that. So a lot of that is reflected in what I do because I have a platform. God has given me this amazing platform, and I try and use it to share with others.
That's amazing. And on that note, we're going to lead right into the song because you chose this song because of prayer. So I wrote this song also because of that, and also because of suffering and how prayer can help you in the time of suffering and need. So I'm going to take a break for a minute and I'll play. This is my song, Pray About Everything, that he chose to play for the break. So we'll be right back.
Stand firm in the way of the Lord. Let nothing stand in the way. Cast away your fears, rejoice in the Lord for always. If you're lost and alone, looking for a way, the peace center, your life. If you feel like you're drowning in despair, lift your hands to the Lord and know that He's still there. He will never leave you. Let His love feed you. Let His grace within you wash your sins away. Don't worry about anything. Pray about everything. Your prayers will be answered in time. Don't burden your heart with things of this world. The peace center, your life. The peace center, your life. Your life. Your life. Your life.
Thank you so much for choosing that song. I haven't played that in a while, and it's off my Step Into the Light album. So
Such a
Thank-
beautiful song, though.
thank you. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a blessing to be able to write music to help myself and others that really need to hear it. So so do you have a website or some place where people can contact you if they want to book you for something?
Yes, they can contact me on Facebook under Lego Church Project or Substack, Praying at the Bricks. And every month, towards the end of it, I usually release a newsletter. I'm up to 63 issues now.
Wow.
Surprisingly enough, the new issue just came out late last week, covering a little bit of ground. I think my feature article for that particular issue is Pray for Our Parishes, which has been on my mind a lot as of late, because I know a lot of parishes are struggling.
Yes.
And really that kind of brings back to the mission that I have with the project, because I talk about the disability, but I also talk about the prayer, and keeping in mind that I know that parishes are facing greater challenges. Some are dealing with financial issues, some are dealing with attendance, and everything is interconnected. So that's always one of the big prayers, that more people would make the Mass a priority. And it's like part of my own personal mission to encourage people to do that.
Yeah, that's great because you're right. I noticed a decline also, and everybody has all over. And people need to get back to church. I mean, they, especially with the Catholic faith. I mean, the Eucharist is the most important thing.
Oh, yes.
They need to be there. They need to receive the body and blood, or just the body of Christ. It's just a lot of people think they could just stay home and watch it on TV and watch, the Mass on streaming, and it's not the same.
No, it's not. And for me in particular, I have to be there present. I have to be there in person. It's the same reason why I don't like always watching sporting events. There are certain things that you just have to be in person for. And with my challenges, especially with my focus, I find that while I'm sitting in the church, even if my mind is going in 1,001 directions, I can look at the stained glass, or I can look at some aspect of the build and see God there.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me to be able to sit inside the church is such a beautiful experience. And I really pray that more people would realize that they would take that consideration and give an hour or so of your time every weekend, either heading the Saturday vigil or Sunday, because the church can do a lot, but we need people to be able to do it. We need volunteers for our ministers, especially with the music ministry. I know our choir is reduced in numbers over the years because of different things, and we're currently down to like 6 people right now. And it's a challenge. because you want to see the parishes grow. And it's something that I feel very strongly about is I would love to see the parishes, no matter where you are at, full of people again, to see the pews, see very few spaces in the pews. And I do want to clarify, I understand that some people are not able to make it to Mass.
Yes.
There are various either health reasons or other situations that prevent them from being able to go. You are in my prayers because I understand that there's probably a deep frustration in that you also would like to go to Mass in person. So know that I am praying for you as well.
That's great. And yeah, it's true. I understand about the people like having not enough people in the choir or everything, because I have two of my choir members, Kathy and Wayne, who are watching this right now. And we understand that they go to every single Mass because, we need to get more people. But, some people, it's not in them to volunteer. Some people can't volunteer for one reason or another. So, we can't bash everybody for not wanting to volunteer. Some people just can't
Yeah.
do it.
Some people, and I gotta give Dave Hammond, who's our music director, a lot of credit. He has really done a lot with us. For being such a small group as we are, he really picks a lot of good music, a lot of and kind of a balance between the traditional hymns and some of the more modern stuff. And I really appreciate about him because he's really done a lot. And he really tries his hardest to do what he can inside the parish. And it's such a blessing. And I also have to say, because he's my primary ride to Mass most weekends, because I don't drive. I haven't been able, because of the cerebral palsy, I can't drive. So, and that kind of adds another challenge with the project displays is that any parish that wants to host me, they just have to give me a ride. I don't charge money for this.
That's great. Can anybody donate to help you if they want?
They can if they feel led, or you know what? If they feel led, they can make a donation to Christ the Good Shepherd Parish in Saginaw, Michigan. I'm fairly set right now with my finances with the project build, so I'm not necessarily going to do any major donation drives. So if you guys feel led, donate to Christ the Good Shepherd Parish and mark it like for their building needs or something to help our parish, or donate to a parish that is struggling, that that could use the extra resources.
I don't know too many that aren't.
Well, and it's something to pray about for sure if you feel led. But I'm just going to ask right now that if you feel led to try and help me out, pray for my ministry, pray for the parishes that may have me out. And I do have an Amazon wish list as well. You can find that on the Substack in any of the blog posts. But you guys can make a donation to Christ the Good Shepherd in Saginaw. I think that would be more appropriate at this particular time.
Okay. That's, if anybody's interested, I'll post that in the comments also. I have a question for you. Is there a dream church somewhere, anywhere in the world that you would want to attend with this ministry? Any place, if somebody can get you there, where would it be?
It's so funny that you mentioned that. Yes, there is a parish I would love to visit, and I'll explain why. They just recently underwent a major renovation, and their back wall has a stained glass that is in shades similar to what I use inside my project. And the parish is Holy Family in Grand Blanc, which is about 45 minutes from me. The pastor is Father Joe Krupp, who is prominent on Facebook and Twitter, Joe and Black Ministries. And I would love, if the opportunity presented itself, I would love to visit there in a heartbeat. I want to see the parish. I want to see the community behind it. That is just that would be such an amazing time, I think, for me to be able to be down there. And if the opportunity presented itself, if they were to call me like on Monday or Tuesday, it's like the answer would be yes, let's work out the details.
Well, they might be watching this. You never know. This show is broadcast everywhere around the world. So,
I've had people suggest them. I've had people over the years suggest that I reach out to Holy Family. And, but yeah, I would love to check them out. Seriously.
That's great. I have a question for you real quick for another question. What saints do you draw inspiration from?
Well, St. Paul, I've always had affinity for. also with St. John Paul II. And of
Mhm.
course, but though if you ever see me talk about stuff on social media, you'll know that I have a very strong devotion to Blessed Solanus Casey. In fact, he was featured inside the project, and I have
Wow.
a picture still in a box that I have on hand. He had a lot of learning disabilities. He had a lot of challenges, and yet God used his talents. God used his talents for prayer to seek the wisdom of the Lord in all things with anyone that ever walked through his door, regardless of what their path was in life, Catholic or not. And I really kind of draw inspiration from that. In fact, last year I had a chance to visit his tomb in Detroit, Michigan. And that
Wow.
was a very profound and humbling experience for me because of the fact that it gave me the chance to ask that question. What can I ask? What can I ask Father Celeste? I'm here. And mainly just to serve the Lord, that the opportunities will present themselves to serve. I'm not worried about my own health challenges. They are what they are. The Lord has given me profound blessings in many ways. So I'm more focused on trying to do this ministry and share the talents the Lord has given me with others.
That's a great attitude to have. That's really great. And like I said, you're probably an inspiration to a lot of people out there that see what you go through, and that never to give up. Keep praying and be blessed with what you have. And if it is a calling to do something in your life for God, you know, with obedience comes blessings. So I really think that would be great. That if somebody's watching this that says I can't do it, and they see what you're doing, that's great. That's a great inspiration. And I'm really glad that I had you on because I'm really interested in that, and it's so beautiful. I would love to see one of those in person one day.
Thank you.
That's really cool. So can anybody see like all of your other ones? Do you have any pictures? You have any
Yeah,
on?
on the Facebook page, I have all 27 seasons,
Oh
photographs of
wow.
all 27. And with the last several, you can actually see how this thing was put together, the build process from start to finish.
Do you have a YouTube channel for that?
No, I just have the photos, just on the photos on the Facebook page.
Did you ever think about recording it while you were putting it together?
I did a couple of videos on Substack this year, showing some of the parts of the build,
Oh yeah.
but really don't exactly have a setup right now to be able to record as I'm building. And I tend to focus just once I get into the zone of building, I tend to forget about things and sometimes even forget to take pictures.
Well, if you're so into what you're doing,
Yeah,
sure you do, but do you pray before you do this?
always.
Yeah.
Every morning I pray. I pray for the needs that I see on social media. I pray for the needs of my parish friends, family, complex. My stuff usually is at the end of the prayer because I pray for everyone else first. And that's just something that I believe in doing. I believe it's important to pray for the intentions that others may have. And even if it's never been said out loud, the prayers that we hold in the silence of our hearts, I may not know them, but the Lord does. So
That's
it's very
right.
important for me to be able to do that every morning. And it's such a blessing because it gives me something to start the day with.
Always. I mean, I think I think as soon as you open your eyes, you should just basically thank God for opening your eyes, being alive. He's the one that got you through the night and is going to get you through the rest of the day. So I think that's the first prayer that everybody should have is thank you, God, for getting me through the night and for this day ahead of me. I try to always say that in the morning. I always try to say, I try, we're human beings. We sin. We're not perfect. I try to say, I want to dedicate this whole day to you. And I try to live everything with him. But of course, we all fall short. You know, everybody's a sinner. And, somebody will cut me off while I'm driving and I'll be like, okay, right to confession.
Yeah.
But I understand, I understand. It's just, the prayer is the most important part of our life. One thing I remember Father Kevin at my church used to say, one thing that's great prayer is the what did he used how do he used to say it? something about it's like a phone call to God. It's like, you can talk to him all times of the day, and you never have to be on hold. You never have to wait for him to say, I'll be right back to you. You can pray for him. You could pray to him all day long, no matter what you're doing. And that's what's great. That's what's great about our faith, right?
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Where can people follow you once again on social media? And you have a website, you said, or is it just Substack?
I've got the Substack, which is Praying at the Bricks, and on Facebook under Lego Church Project.
Okay. Lego Church Project.
And every Friday, usually around 10 a.m. local, I usually post one of the articles from my collection, either a new one that I've just recently written or something from the archives.
Okay. And what was the other one again? Lego Church Project, and what was Substack, right?
Substack is Praying at the Bricks.
I like that name.
Yeah, I came up with it years ago. It kind of describes what I'm doing. I'm literally praying at the bricks.
Yeah.
So.
I want to ask you one more question real quick. How many Legos do you own? Do you know?
Too many. I've
Do you
got
have
the 25,000 in here. I've got several containers in my closet, and I've got the 25-gallon bin of stuff that didn't go into the project.
Are they all different colors?
Oh yeah, and shapes,
Really?
sizes, pieces, different elements.
That's awesome.
You never know what you can put inside the project and make it look good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can see you have two. What's that in the back behind your head? Behind you.
I've got the two bell tower.
Okay.
It's two bell tower design, and both have standard bells inside.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, I've been using the double bell tower design for the last several seasons because it works. It allows me to do the lights, and gives me a place to bring the lights through.
Wow.
Because I have to keep the space anyway, so it just gives me a spot to hide the lights. Plug comes out on the lower end. Creates a challenge when I'm trying to build, but hey, life is challenging.
In there? You have a choir in there?
Yes, and the front row, the choir, including the organist, is based on the people at my parish.
That's cool. That's
I showed a picture of that to one of the other people at a different parish I was visiting, and he goes, "Oh, that's Dave Hammond."
You have to get somebody with curly hair for me. You got to get somebody in there. That's really well. This has been interesting. I'm really glad that you came on, and you never know. I might have. Maybe you could come back again next time with a different.
I'm always welcome to come back.
I know you're always on a different shows all the time. That's great. But I just want to thank you so much, and thank you for all you do. And I will be praying for your health. I'll be praying for your ministry and for everything you do. And keep in touch. And send me some pictures of the other ones you do. I want to see them. I want to keep.
Okay.
But just do you have anything else you have to say?
You know what? God gives us some amazing gifts. Let the Lord lead you on how to use them. Amen.
Mm-hmm. Amen. Amen. That's what we all try to do, but that's true. But I thank you once again. God bless you and have a good night. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Go check him out. I put the Facebook. Go follow him on Facebook. If you're on Facebook all the time, go give him a follow, a like, Lego Church Project, and on Substack, Praying at the Bricks. I might have him back on again next year. You never know. But I want to thank you guys once again. Don't forget my Ascending Journey CD. If you don't have this, you can get this on my website, lisamarinecole.com. I have all of my CDs, but this is the one that's nominated right now. It has United We Stand on this. It has I Called on Your Name, which is my award-winning song. Life's a Faith, A Song of Faith and Glory. It's got Only Jesus. It's got a lot of really good songs on this EP. If you'd like to get it, lisamarinecole.com. who knows? I might have another trivia. Maybe me and John will do another trivia contest soon, and I'll raffle one of these off if somebody doesn't have it. That means you got to watch the show and you have to answer the question live in order to get this. Or you can go on my website and support my ministry, and you can get one of these or anything else I have on there. So thank you so much again. Coming up next week, I have singer-songwriter Emily Thornsby. She will be on the 17th. I have May 24th. I have Johnny Matt. He's another singer-songwriter. And on the 31st, I have Monsignor Eric Barr, which I think a lot of people know. He's a Catholic speaker, and he's also an author, and among other things that he does. And he is on Facebook. He's very vocal about his faith and everything he does. And I am really happy to have him coming on my show on the 31st. I just want to say something real quick. I just want to say how blessed I am to do this and to bring this show to you. I have been getting so many calls and emails from so many people that want to be on this show ever since I have been starting to get nominated and win awards. And it is just, it's not even about that. It's not even about winning awards or anything. It's just bringing the word of God and the people that come on to tell their testimony as to how God has helped them in their ministries, their job, or everything. And it's just I've always wanted to do this my whole life. This is one thing that I've always wanted to do, was be a journalist, besides an author and everything else. But I've always wanted to be a journalist because you could tell I love to talk. So I love to talk to people. I love to get people to open up and to talk. And I know I'm good at doing that. So I'm just blessed to be able to do this. And I hope this can go on forever and ever. And I hope I get more people. Right now, I'm booked up till actually the end of August. So it's just a total blessing to be able to bring this show to you every Sunday. And I really appreciate the support. And I will definitely let you know if I did win the other two awards for the Gospel Choice Awards and the ISSA. Both of them are finalists. So if I win 2 more awards for this, all glory to God. All of these awards are his. They're not mine. I am just accepting them on his behalf. So once again, have a beautiful week. Have a blessed week. Be safe out there, and come back right back here next week. Wait a minute. Next week is the 12th. I'm sorry. I got that wrong. Next week is Mother's Day. I have a Mother's Day special I wanted to do. Emily Thorsby is going to be on the 17th. So next week, I wanted to say, if anybody wants to come on as a guest with their mother and they want to speak, or if you're a daughter and you want to bring your mother on with you, and you want to come on and just say something about your mom, it's going to be a Mother's Day special next week. I will be on. I'm going to probably have my mom just come on real quick and say something. So if anybody would like to be on the show with their mother, you can, mother and son, mother and daughter, whoever, just contact me, send me a message on Messenger, or lisamarinacole.com. You could send me a message and we'll see if we can get you on real quick. But I will definitely be back next week, and I'm going to sing Mama, I Love You live for Mother's Day for all the mothers out there. So, and for Mother Mary. So have a good week. God bless you, and I'll see you all next week.